So welcome back, guys. We thought, we gave you a good first game, but how can we beat that one? How can we do better than some of the, the real crowd favorites? Well, let's move higher up in that ranking. I think that's the best way by getting you the top 3. Now, Dignitas, they're pretty much safe, so let's not look at them. Let's look below that, where maybe there could be some movement, to say the very least. Let's look down towards the likes of WoT Pro, the Giants, facing off against DeNova, the up-and-comers, the real keen kids on the block who are just really switching things up here. And let's have a quick look at that ranking so we can explain it again, because it is so damn important to get into your brain how impressively incredible this game's going to be. WoT Pro, they are not safe at all. 3 points for a win. If DeNova pick this one up, they will get into second position. That is the magnitude of this game. That is what they are fighting for. I cannot wait for this one. And guys, we want you to give us your predictions. And well, I know a certain lady who can tell you exactly how you guys can do that. Let's bring back in Melly. And how can the people at home get involved with us here in the studio?
Getting involved in our show is pretty easy. You just have to head over to our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter, and follow us and become a part of our network. And then you can just start. It's very easy. So also following our Twitch channel is a pretty good idea. So you get notified as soon as we're going live. Besides that, following our Twitter account has its benefits, because I will keep you updated during the matches, even if you're not sitting in front of your screen and watching our stream, because of any given reason you're missing our show. So I will keep you updated. And as most of you already know, our pumpkin challenge has ended, sadly. But head over to our Facebook page and check out the winners and our beautiful pumpkins from the challenge. And, well, if you're there, then like the page, and you will get notified as soon as the next challenge will come up, and that will be the next day. So being tuned in there is really important, people. And yeah, the winners of our first prediction games has already been announced, and the next vote will be up in a few minutes. Well, actually, then when you're seeing that. The magic of time and everything. But yeah, for all the lucky people I won a code, congratulations. For all sad people, don't be sad. Just take place in the next vote, and maybe you'll get lucky then. Also, another possibility of winning codes is just heading over to Twitter and tweeting everything what's on your mind. If it's questions to our casters, or opinions, or feedback, or whatever you like. We love reading from you, so keep the tweets coming. Just use the hashtag WGLEU. Was right, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Right. Don't you worry.
So it's struggling. But yeah, that's pretty much all. So I won't keep you from the next matchup. So have fun.
Well, there you go. Melly is not going to hold you away from this one, because it's going to be insanely good here. Let's just look at these two lineups head to head, because there's so many astounding players to be seen. And there's so many things to be said about these two. WoT Pro currently sitting in 3rd place. They were hot at the heels of Dignitas before, but they slipped. They had 3 losses there. They've lost to, some surprising teams. They drew with Odin Mortis, which was a real surprise. They lost out to Team Dignitas in, I believe that was like Playday 5 possibly, if not a little bit later. So they've had some real up and downs. They've lost to Dignitas twice this season already. And DeNova, they could certainly get themselves into that. And looking over to the DeNova side, they've had 5 losses, but 10 wins. They're in 3rd place. They've had Ronnie right up front there, barking out the orders to his teammates. He's the captain, and Karitz for WoT Pro, astounding players through and through. Breakneck up on WoT Pro's side can really stand out when it matters, can come up big. But for WoT Pro, it's all about that team collective ability. When they work together, they are phenomenal. And DeNova are exactly the same. Their execution has been insane. Literally international, bad news. All these big players are just some of the best in the game. I cannot tell you enough. There's so many brilliant things about these two that head-to-head, it's so hard to define them. They've been going back and forth throughout this season already. Last time it was a 4-1 victory in favor to WoT Pro, but still, things can change. We saw that in the last game alone. Last time around, Kaz and Crew actually beat Mousesports. This time, it was Mousesports at 3-2. So this game, it's so hard to predict. WoT Pro, they are the kings here. They are the ones to retain their position, whereas DeNova are the newcomers who really can shake things up. There's certainly a team looking towards it. And after a disappointing Season 2 finals, I'd be very surprised if they don't come out guns blazing here to prove a point.
Well, they have to prove a point. They want to be up there. They want to be one of the best teams. They want to qualify for the World Championships as well. So this is a moment. This is their moment where they can prove they are ready for it.
Well, guys at home, we've already told you about the predictions. I want you guys to tweet this stream out, put it on Facebook, put it absolutely everywhere, because this is going to be just an absolutely groundbreaking game. I cannot tell you this enough. This is possibly going to be seeing an upset that you rarely get to see. That top 3 has been almost just set in stone for the last 2 seasons, really. Dignitas, WoT Pro, and then a third. This time around, that, questionable third position can now break into that top 2. We could be seeing a new champion amongst these teams. We could be seeing DeNova, the team that's been tipped to get up there for the last 2 seasons, really coming through on those predictions, because Ollie has been, backing these guys from the very start. He says they've got, great talent. I doubted him before, don't get me wrong, but this is where they prove it. If they pull this one off, we're going to have a very happy co-caster who's not here, sadly. I know you're a fan, but he'll be sitting at home cheering away. He's got his little DeNova hat on, his scarf and everything. It's terrible to see. He's a big fanboy. I think it's bad with me with Kaznakuru. He's a lot worse. He really is. So it's certainly going to be something to watch. So make sure you get this one out here, because I cannot stress it enough. Every single player here is phenomenal. And we can break down that first map choice as well, because that's a real importance and a bit of a shaky one as well to both of our eyes. You were kind of surprised by this. What is that first map?
No, the first map was going to be Abby, and I was like, I read Abby, I was thinking, hang on, we haven't seen Abby for a while. We haven't seen it that much.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Yeah, so I was like, weird, strange, really strange picks. I'm looking forward to what they actually have planned for this, because I have to quick double check with the picks, because I'm not sure who actually picked this one.
See, the thing is, to my eyes, normally I see Abby in play when it's Kaznakuru, for example, who have that perfect play towards that central Abby position. They completely negated it in the last map. They did not play it. So I thought that's when we'd be seeing Abby, but actually it's going to be in this game, which is very curious. It's an extremely hard map to play. There's so many variables, and it's just very hard to play, even at a very basic level, because there's so many options, there's so much variety, and it really depends on not that initial strategy, it's the follow-up ones that really were, the downfall of Kaznakuru in the last game. So I'm looking forward to seeing who can really step up here, because this is going to be defining of, so many moments. Abby is a beautiful map. I love it. I love the way it plays out. It's one of my favorites personally, because you see so many adaptive plays, so many incredible reads on the opposition. WoT Pro are extremely good at it. We saw in the last time they played Dignitas, that was a very close one, and I do believe WoT Pro came out the better of that. Very strong on this map. And, for DeNova to even, fathom, it's a curious choice. Who actually picked this one?
It's hard to say, because WoT Pro started the banning, so they banned out the banned out the first map, and DeNova banned out the second map. But because DeNova was forced to pick this map last, it looked like both teams wanted to avoid this map. Like, if it comes down to it, it's got to be the last choice. So it looks like DeNova, or both teams, don't really want this map, but they've rather wanted to ban out the different map.
Maybe get it out of the way first of all, though, as well.
It looks more like they wanted to ban the strong map from the other team. So they see, right, that's their strong map, we have to get rid of this one. This is their strong map, we have to get rid of this one. So they didn't think about what's our weak map, but rather more what's their strong map. And that's why Abby is in this set of maps. But again, because it's not the most favorite map, it's got to be the last choice, and then go through your other strong maps first.
And you guys at home as well, I want to know your thoughts on Abby. Do feel free to tweet at me, at They Call Me Pansy, and obviously at the WoT Pro League, because I like to know your thoughts on this one, because I know a lot of other regions really struggle with it. They're not fond of it either. I know that, some of the leagues actually don't even play it.
Yeah.
And considering the amount of phenomenal moments we have on this map, it's really surprising to my eyes. So you guys at home, if you've played this before, if you've played it in the 742 mode, let me know how you feel, because it does incorporate a lot of things. You may not be able to use an IS-3 here, but you can obviously use the 5100. The T69's a key. The 1390's a key. There's so many good benefits to this map that I love. So hopefully you guys at home can let me know your thoughts towards it, because I do like to hear from you guys. So let me know how you feel about playing Abby. If you've tried it in that 742 mode, have you enjoyed it? Did you win? And obviously, what tanks would you go for as well? Because, with 742, you can't see the map upcoming. You obviously have to kind of cover all bases. So an IS-3, if you're running with that, it's probably not the best choice to make.
It's going to be hard to pull that one off in this map. But one of the strong things about this map is actually you can use the physics really good in here. You can reach positions.
Very true.
It's hard to reach. You can create your own routes on this map. So
that's what I really like.
You can create your own spotting points, and that's a really good thing, because you see some cheesy stuff with a T1 on the hill in the base. next to impossible to spot him. But he's
Yeah,
got
true.
like the perfect spotting position. You've got spots on the right-hand side of the map. You can go to the Abbey from sides where you usually can't get up there because there's no road.
Exactly.
So things like that. This is what makes Abbey a strong map, because you got your 3 main routes, but then you got like all the small routes, well, not real routes.
Yeah,
there.
and speaking about main routes, the one thing I love is when they go down that mountainside. I think it's the 1 and 2 line around that marker, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just that really intricate play where you see the splits, you see the rotates. Before we saw the likes of Hyber doing really well at that. That's what I like from him. If he's not playing that central Abbey position in, let's say, the T69s, if he's with maybe a 1390 or even a heavier tank towards maybe the 5100s, he plays it so well. And that's one of some of the strengths we'll be seeing here between the likes of these two teams, where it's the individual decisions they make in those moments where they have the 3 split down the bigger line. They're leaving maybe the 1390s, the faster tanks, to come up around the flank, and it's just that perfect precision timing. It can come down to such a clinical decision, and I'm just so excited to see how this one unfolds. I'd like to see your predictions towards this as well when you get a second, because it's very hard to predict, because Virtus Pro are good on this map. It's certainly not one of their stronger ones. They've shown that they can lose here before, and sometimes it really does be their downfall when they're a little bit. They're not as creative. That's the one thing I find with some of the very Russian-based teams, that they are very clinical and methodical. They're not that creative team, and that can be their downfall here.
It's more like for Russian teams that go more down to the clear facts, like this is a city map, we need the heavy tanks, boom, and we do this position, like we just do.
No, don't fault.
Yeah, that's it. And they just stick to that, but they do it so good and so perfect. Like there's one Russian team, Navi. What I heard
just
once,
one Russian team. You might not know them,
but what I heard about them, they actually. As soon as they get spotted, they know exactly. Being spotted, they know exactly where the spotting tank is, just because they know exactly.
Of course, you know exactly where you're vulnerable.
And that's the strength of the Russian teams. They just know the maps, they know the lineups, they know the tanks perfect. So they don't need no creativity.
Very
they just
true.
Play the mechanics the way they are.
But then again, you see teams like DeNova really shaking things up when they can counterplay that, and that's what I'm looking for here. Because on paper, you can't deny Virtus Pro. They are the giants here. They're the absolute kings of this map at times, but sometimes a team can really shake their core. We've seen Spale doing it. We've seen Kazan can do it because they pull out these off-the-wall strategies. So I think they're just about ready for the tank picks. Let's have a little look towards that so you guys can see what we can. And it's very basic stuff so far. No surprises coming out. Why don't you take us through what they've gone for at the moment?
All right, so Virtus Pro and DeNova, obviously, I have to keep on saying obviously. You've always got the 2 T1s in there.
Yeah.
Strong scouting tanks, and besides that, we have on both sides a 1390 and a T69. So at this point, both teams going for the same tanks, but mentioning these tanks is it's just standard. You need these tanks in every single map except for Himmelsdorf. Yeah,
no, I agree. It's that T69's versatility. There was not necessarily a slight nerf on it. I know a lot of people said there was a little bit of a change in the way it was played and the certain factors towards it, but it's still so vital with that gun depression, the way it can play, the way you can use it. It's so good in these maps, especially with this terrain. What other choices have come through?
And the follow-up choice were another 1390 and a T69 from both sides. So again, still mirroring it, but the final pick is where the difference comes in. Virtus Pro going for the 5100, so a bit more health, a bit slower, but and DeNova going for the 1390. So way more speed, but less HP. So this could be these 2 final tanks can be the difference in the game start and the ending results.
So where is your money on this one?
Whoa,
it's hard.
DeNova.
You're going DeNova?
Yeah, I'm going for DeNova.
All right, I think I'll join you on that one on here, even though it's against the odds.
I'm going for the 4-1 for DeNova, by the way.
Wow, 4-1. Okay, well, we'll see if that one really comes through to fruition. That's a very hefty bet. I think Virtus Pro, excluding their losses, have ever gone down that much. So you are really pushing the boundaries here. So you're betting on them. I think DeNova's going to get this one because they can shake up Virtus Pro. But then after that, Virtus Pro just kind of hunker down. They do their usual plays that are just so damn hard to counter because they're so well done. No matter if you know what they're up to, it doesn't mean you can defeat them. So guys, let's get that video rolling for the first map, which will be Abbey.
Welcome to Abbey, a hard but gratifying map to master. Abbey is 1,000 by 1,000 meters and has 3 main routes of attack. The left mountainous area, through the Abbey in the middle, or in the trench to the right. The housed Abbey area in the middle, the winding trench road, and the treacherous mountainous area. The Abbey area can be moved upon on a central road. Often the 2 teams battle it out for the higher ground. The mountainous area often sees intense action as it overlooks the Abbey and provides key access to the enemy's base. The base area can also be accessed via the trench and is a common route of attack. It is essential to defend your base. Teams must pay close attention to their tank setups and in particular how they utilize them to greatest effects on what is a very complicated map.
So welcome into the first map. Here will be Abbey. We'll be seeing DeNova starting in the south in that golden yellow, facing off against the northern WoT Pro in blue. And we're seeing a really curious start from DeNova here. Can you explain what they're getting up to?
Oh, they're absolutely losing no time. They're going right down the right-hand valley and they're just pushing for it. You got the one standard scout up on the hill, looking if there's something coming along that side, not spotting anything there. And so that means, all right, let's keep rolling.
Yeah, indeed. Curious choices being made there. I'm really looking forward to this one. And let's have a look towards the other side to see what WoT Pro are getting up to here, because they're going to the different polar points of this map almost.
Yeah, they exactly the opposite side. They went right up the hill, again, not losing any time, didn't spot anything. They tried to get one tank up towards the middle, but then thought, oh no, let's keep him back in the base. Didn't spot anything coming that direction, and now just holding the hillside. But since they didn't see anything, and WoT Pro is one of these teams that rather want to wait first before they make a move. They want to see what the enemy's doing and then adapt. They're holding their position. They're ready to defend, but they're also ready to push there.
Well, I might have to defend fairly soon, because looking at what DeNova are getting up to, they really are pushing up that A-line. Rest in Peace getting into a fantastic position in that 1390, right behind the opposition's flag there. He is looking to find a way through, quite possibly. Phoenix backing him up, as is International, getting that firing line down that eastern road and using at least the Abbey as well. So by knowing where the opposition aren't, they can figure out exactly where WoT Pro are. So that's the smart play coming out from these guys. A good spread across the board. Bad news in towards that central Abbey area in the T69 with that fantastic gun depression. It can really aim just about everywhere at once. And I want to see what DeNova are getting up to here, because I think they're going to try and draw out WoT Pro.
Yeah, I'm looking at WoT Pro here. They have one perfect spot in the T1 in the base, in the bush, spotting Rest in Peace pushing up that hill. That means, all right, they know something's in the base, and WoT Pro knows something's coming towards us here. Yep. So looking at their previous position, they was pinging down the mountainside because it looked like they was expecting them to be around the corner, just waiting for their push, maybe because their standard tactic, just want to be ready to adapt for that. Well, now they notice, all right, they're pushing us. So we keep one behind on the balcony, even two behind, ready to defend. It's all you need to defend on this map. And the remaining tanks going right towards the base of DeNova here.
See, the one smart bit of counterplay coming out from DeNova is the fact that Phoenix is already getting back. As soon as Rest in Peace got spotted out, he knew that happened. Phoenix now coming back to a more defensive posture in that T69. Rather than going for an all-in up that A-line, we are seeing two tanks as well now retracting back, as you can see. Probably the 1390s leaving just Rest in Peace up there. And they're just trying to, really manipulate WoT Pro. And I don't think WoT Pro are going to fall for this lightly. They are not a team that will go, oh, they're doing this, let's quickly overreact.
Yeah.
They'll play it correctly.
Yeah, WoT Pro will never ever overreact and just roll into anybody's position there. So they got those Kharids, and just following Kharids, going really, really slow. So you push really slow to this hill, then just, like, really centimetre by centimetre going down there. Will I be spotted or not? Because they don't even want to waste a T1 because they need him to carry on the spotting here.
Well, it's such a vital thing on this map.
That's it, exactly. So again, we've got Kharids pushing up there, turning around, doing it really slow. Actually, no, I thought he's going to reverse up there to peek around the corner, see something there. Well, he feels like my job is done. I've checked the position, nothing's here. Okay, just cause you can now carry on from here, hold this position. I'm going somewhere else where I'm needed to spot the next region.
And I love that play. The T1s are so important on this map for that aspect alone. Because it can be so vast and there's so many different routes that can be taken, those Tier 1s spotting out certain moments like that is absolutely vital. So let's see what the Tier 1s actually are getting up to for DeNova as well. Ron playing defensively there. He's going to be the almost first person to spot out any counterattacks coming through.
Yeah, you always leave one in the base.
Yeah, it's a safe play, whereas Winnie the Pooh, completely opposite, up there, right by the flag, in case someone pushed across on the rotate after they saw Rest in Peace. Very smart stuff. DeNova, however, are just playing this safely. They are taking the Central Abbey area here. FC Dynamo was there early. I'm a big fan of this man. A slightly newer addition to the DeNova side, but brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, the thing to my eyes now is how can either of these teams get the advantage? Because it's all about that spotting game. What are they going to do to edge ahead here? Because it's starting to get to that halfway marker. Teams want to start building that advantage.
And it looks like WoT Pro is doing exactly what we was mentioning at the beginning of the tank picks here, that this map is has so many secret routes because you can just use the physics to your to your advantage, and we just see Virtus Pro saying, "Oh, we're up the hill, but who cares? We got tanks. We can go downhill here," and just dropping down the middle, heading right towards the Abbey, and now taking the Abbey for themselves. And as you mentioned as well, Virtus Pro, DeNova is near the Abbey, so Virtus Pro managed to proxy spot them, and they are actually in proxy spotting range. They can just start shooting from the top down onto DeNova and dealing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, and I think International just seeing that wall crumbling in front of him. He's playing it carefully. He's using that hill or that wall, but right now he's in trouble. Just Cause and him exchange. One shell each. Slightly better damage dealt by International, but it's by a very slim margin. But that's the first little bit of information trickling through now. The counter effects and the further effects of this will come into play. International backing off. Bad news down there. He's got the gun depression to look up if necessary in that T69 and play it carefully. International will back away to a more defensive position as he was damaged and leave bad news to pick up the mantle. But how are Virtus Pro responding to this?
A good thing is for DeNova, he managed to spot many tanks. He got shot by one, knew there's another tank following up. On the other side, Virtus Pro only knows there's one tank here. What can this mean? This can mean he's just there to spot, he's just there to hold a position, or it's a whole team behind him. DeNova, they know where Virtus Pro is coming from. Another tank now spotted up the hill, so they get what's going on here. Where they follow up from now, they've taken it slow again. They're just looking around, seeing, all right, where can we find other tanks? What is DeNova planning here? What do they have in there? What do they have behind this tank? And at the moment, they're struggling to find out what's going on.
Yeah, but it does seem as though they're starting to make a push as well down that 1 and 2 line, which is quite a bit of a dangerous thought, because if DeNova overly focus that Abbey area and leave that rather large tank to push down towards their flag, they could be pincered in here.
Yeah, you've mentioned that tank coming from the hill. Now the fort right, he's got a free roll here, so let's bring up other tanks as well. Diver all the way up there with his 1390, ready to spot. Trying to find out what's going on there. He should be spotted pretty early, or he's already spotted now, so he knows something's in here. He's going to look for the T1, but he's not finding T1 here at all.
But no, he's finding a hell of a lot of damage coming in from Phoenix. 2 shells back-to-back connecting for him. Not going to get the third or the fourth, however, so backing off, time to reload. Breaknecks received a bit of damage as well, and bad news still on the prowl there, just keeping eyes on that central Abbey section, keeping Virtus Pro in check. With 3 minutes left, no tank fallen. Who needs to make the move now?
It looks like DeNova has to make the move. They dealt some damage to Diver. He's down to half HP, no, nearly half HP there. So he's the one you want to focus. He's the one you want to kill. Get the ATA points out there and keep your T1s alive. What I really like from DeNova though is usually, if you can quick look at my screen so I can point out the position. Usually up this hill we have the T1 sitting there. He usually is the one who's proxy spots or spots anything coming along here. DeNova thought, well, this position's nice, but this position's known, so let's go for somewhere else. And Diver's job, I think, was to proxy spot that T1, kill him with the tank, with a different tank, so you got the whole base open for you. But yeah, having a T1 in a different position, these small mind games gave DeNova the small advantage there to deal the damage to Diver.
And these small advantages are building up for DeNova's side. I wouldn't be surprised here if Virtus Pro actually play this one out safely and just look for the draw on the first map to get it out of the way. Because they're a team that will happily do that. They don't want to overly commit here. And we are going to see what's going to be going through their minds right now, because Rest in Peace is edging towards the flag. They're pinging it out. They're trying to find a way through. They've got such a spread, though. They don't have much backup there for Rest in Peace. He's getting some information fed through. Just Cause being spotted out towards the Abbey. But that's nothing major for these guys. They need more than that to go on. 1 minute and 50 seconds left. The risk of committing here is huge, and I don't know if it's the best idea for either teams with such a small advantage.
Yes, Virtus Pro knows, right, we can't make the move here just because our tanks have too much or already received too much damage. DeNova, on the other side, it looks like they know it's their game to lose, but they can't find the right angle because Virtus Pro is playing it perfectly. They have the position, they have tanks positioned in the Abbey to defend the cat circle. Like they have one tank on the mountainside to defend the cat circle, then covering all angles. It's impossible for DeNova to cap the base here. The only way they can win is take down a tank or take on a full fight, and that's a thing you don't want to be doing.
Yeah, it's a bit risky, but the one thing I'm liking is they're assuming, they're making a bit of a risk. They've pulled Phoenix off the defensive posture, put him up towards that middle section, trying to play him a little bit more aggressively in that T69, just in case, you know, there was a little bit of fire coming in. Maybe they could have lost a player here because they are on that lower ground. So smart play, brave play. With 1 minute on the board left, they're just going to try and wait this one out in the most careful way they can. They keep spotting out these players, breakneck. They're just trying to tease them out, trying to draw anyone in who's willing to take the bait. FC Dynamo's tempted. You can see that turret turning. He's eyeing this one up. He's thinking about it. Does he want to give it away? Does he want to show the hand of DeNova that they're playing it safely, they're playing cautiously? No team wants to lose this map. This is what it comes down to, this careful, smart play that neither of these teams want to give this map up. They don't want to win, they don't want to lose. They just want to play it out and look towards the next couple, because this is so hard to get an advantage on. If you don't get it in the first couple of minutes, you don't want to risk it. You can't go for that cap, as you said, because the positioning of WoT Pro is great towards that central Abbey. They have the fire coming through if they need it, and they can rotate from both sides. But right now, with 6 seconds left, it's going to be a draw on this map, and something crazy happens, which I don't think it will. These guys are seasoned professionals at this game. They played it smart. They played it safe. First map is a draw, so both teams negate that one almost, so that's going to be kind of swept away. And I think that's how both teams wanted to play out Abbey there, because, as you said, it's not a favorable map to either team. Both teams don't really have a strength on there. They're both very good, don't get me wrong, and your 4-1 scoreline is completely wrong now. Just going to point that out.
I was just sticking to 3-1 now.
Oh, 3-1, okay.
Yeah,
so
I always meant 3-1.
Oh, okay. Did you just forget how to count?
Yeah. I have sometimes have problems with the counting there, but...
You're very similar to Ollie on that front then.
Oh, it
It's okay. He finds it very hard to count.
You just want to keep that one up there.
Yeah.
Well, looking at the end, it's a bit sad there because...
it is, but...
one thing I really like is just showing that these teams they just understand the map. Like they understand,
yes,
right?
Of course.
WoT Pro understood we lost a lot of damage, but if we hold the Abbey, there's no way we can lose this.
Exactly.
Like it was impossible for DeNova to win the game. On the other side, it was good from DeNova to read actually. Well, we could go for like a cheesy push, whatever.
Yep.
But it's impossible for us to win the game.
Yep.
But still, WoT Pro was in a disadvantage, but they managed to favor themselves by getting the right positions in. So like even though it was a draw, but just looking the way they drawed it, it just shows how good these teams are.
It is. It is literally a note to the caliber of this game as well, because no team wants to throw that away. There was a risky chance on both teams. WoT Pro could have gone for it then. You know, obviously we saw that T69 making its way back towards the middle section from DeNova. If maybe they spotted it out, WoT Pro could have gone for a push. They could have tried it. But then again, that's a 50-50, and you cannot, be going for 50-50s at this stage in the WoT Pro League, because every single map counts. If you give DeNova, a little bit of confidence at the start of the game, they will run away with it. They'll get the next 2 back-to-back, and they will not drop a single map because they are damn good at that. And WoT Pro, you don't want to give them any sort of helping hand, because these guys, they don't even need the confidence. They know they're that good. And if you give them even a glimpse towards how to get into a game, they will take it, and they won't just take an inch, they will take a mile, and it's unbelievably hard to stop. So the second map will be Ensk, so it won't be a similar kind of game on this one. It's a very different map. We're just seeing a lot of teams going for that green zone, so I'm curious to see what these two go for. Tank picks are beginning, so let's look towards that screen right now, see what choices they're going for, because I'm not too sure. Some teams go for some interesting things on this. What are we seeing so far?
So far, we see 2 T1s, a 5100 and IS3. So the tank picks in this map go more in direction of Himmelsdorf. You want, because it's a more city map. It's a smaller map, so even closer. There's no.
And we have been seeing a 110 coming in as well, which is kind of interesting.
110 is basically an IS3. Like it goes in the same direction as well. So you can either go for 110 and IS3, but you want to go for a lot of firepower, a lot of HP in this map, just because it's a small map and it's a city map. Yeah,
it's a bit of a slugging battle at the time. Back and forths do begin, and it's all about making sure those shells count. So we are seeing the usual picks: 5100 tier 1, 5100 tier 1. So DeNova and WoT Pro going toe to toe at the start of it, and it's pretty much been mirrored so far.
WoT Pro following up with another IS3 and a 5100 here, so then committing full to the city map lineup here, and I'm guessing that DeNova's going to go for the same here.
Well, you can't risk, going for a strange route there pick. Either of these teams, I only ever see a tank really cementing its place in this season when we see WoT Pro picking up. DeNova, they like to kind of try new things on occasion, but not in this type of game. This is the most serious type of game you're going to see.
Yeah, the thing is with this map as well, even though it has possibilities to go for fast tanks and that, but because it's so small, even the heavy tanks are considered as fast tanks here. It was like they can reach any position really fast. So if you go for a base push, you can get your heavy tanks fast enough back to the base just to defend. So you don't want to be fighting with an 1390 against an IS3, because it's going to be a tough fight there. Yeah,
there's no easy way to get away from that one. So guys, if you're just tuning in, it is all square, all even. First map just was a draw. They played it out carefully. It was Abbey. No team got that big advantage initially, so they went, okay, let's play this one safe. Let's play it carefully. But Ensk, it's a different beast. So guys, let's get that video rolling towards the second map.
Ensk is a simple map on the face of it, but requires the most skillful team play to play properly. Being such a small map at 600 by 600 meters, the areas of attack are confined to through the city, through the railroads, or through the green zone. The fearsome city side, often famed for its fierce firefights, the railroads and green zone areas are hard to play as they have many death alleys. The railroads provide little cover but good sniping locations. Tanks can shoot over and navigate through the trains to ambush and weaken the opposition. When playing Ensk, always keep in mind that teams may try and rush for the cap and not go for the city brawl. Also, take tanks that can both deal a lot of damage and react quickly to situations.
So, welcome into the second map here in the north. It's going to be DeNova in that delightful golden yellow, currently tied all even with WoT Pro, who'll be starting in the south in the lovely, rather deep blue. So what are we seeing so far coming out from DeNova?
DeNova's going taking it safe at the beginning, going right for the city, covering all roads, one down the left-hand side of the road, already spotting 1 or 2 tanks there, and the remaining tanks going, yeah, just covering all angles.
Yeah, but what about the WoT Pro side? How have they begun this one?
WoT Pro was thinking about doing the same, but they, at the moment, just sticking all the way down to the bottom left of the map because they spotted this one tank early. Just see what's following there. Is it going to be fast pushing, ready to hold it? No, it's not going to be. So, all right, let's start adapting. But because they lost so much time here, it's going to be hard for them to get the standard positions here.
It is, indeed. They're going to have to really push their way through towards that kind of square that they all do like to head towards. As you can see there, the WoT Pro side nicely set up, just looking for a way through. But if they do keep pushing, they will run into the likes of International in that IS-3, who's received a big chunk of damage already. Breakneck landing a shell somehow. And that's just a curious bit of positioning coming out for International. He gets another one towards him. He's down to 797 HP very early on. Now, these sort of advantages, WoT Pro will not give up. They've got their way in now. They've got a good chunk of damage dealt. Bad News is backing up International, so let's see what he's up to. He's going to move forward a touch. You are seeing a bit of a presence coming out from the likes of Rest in Peace and SV Dynamo. Just got a bit of a flank here because Just Cause has been spotted out, as has Diver, and this might be DeNova's way back in here.
Yeah, it's a very nice move here from WoT Pro. Actually, it was a nice fought from DeNova, trying to flank from the side, but WoT Pro was ready for it, dealing a lot of damage. That 150-100 is already taken down from Dynamo, and remaining tanks are ready to fall.
Yeah, but look at this. Phoenix coming around on the flank. Perfect play. He's caught out Kusog massively. 900 HP left towards him. Bad News must stop him. Oh my word, he's broken through. Bad News and International are now in trouble. They have one very dangerous tank staring him down. Diver now challenging out Phoenix in a 1v1. There's the shell they needed coming from Rest in Peace. But look at this. Bad News tracked. He's facing down Delight right now, and there's nothing delightful about this situation. He can't move. He just has to stare down WoT Pro, and look at his fate approaching. Phoenix has played passively now. International using that side scraping feature that's so good on that IS-3, taking up that way down by that one line. Now these 3 tanks, they are the ones who are in so much trouble in this position, whereas we do see Rest in Peace sitting completely pretty on full HP. He needed to be in that fight. They needed to flank round sooner, and they're gonna have to back away.
Yeah, lucky for DeNova, they managed to keep their tanks alive. So it's 4 heavy tanks, or 4 tier 8 tanks against 4 tier 8 tanks, meaning at this point nobody is an advantage to win the game.
Yeah, but look at the HP left on DeNova.
That's the thing. So DeNova has to try to find an angle here where they can turtle in, where they can manage to deal enough damage that WoT Pro can't just come around the corner, boom, you gone, and then just win the game. So and that's what they're trying to do. All tanks are sticking together. Breakneck, the Rest in Peace, sorry, is trying to catch up with the remaining team so he can tank some damage, obviously, and deal some damage. He's a French tank. He can easily take down 2 tanks from WoT Pro at this point, just because they are pretty low as HP as well. So Delight will be done with 1 shot. Then he can take down Dive as well with his remaining 3-4 shells, and that will close things up here. So they have to stick together, stay as a death ball, and deal the damage.
It's not going to be easy, though. WoT Pro know how to come about these situations. They do seem to be going for a bit of a split here as well. They're looking like they want to make their move up towards that city section, down that 1 to 3 line, using the tanks they have left, but staying in that pack kind of mentality there to challenge them down as easy as possible. And you can see the kind of formation coming in from DeNova now. They have spread out firsthand. That's Just Cause spotted. International Bad News backing each other up. Phoenix on the flank, and then we've got the massive damage that will be Rest in Peace if he comes in. He needs to be able to get involved into this fight. Right now, he got completely locked down early on. We still see that move slowly but surely edging towards DeNova. You can see even Bad News is getting a little bit edgy there. He doesn't want to receive too much damage because he's so low, 301 HP. And slowly but surely, Virtus.pro are edging up. Right now, we've seen that tier 1 of Karitz at least kind of hassling Rest in Peace enough to make him shoot one shell. That could be enough for Virtus.pro to make their move towards him.
That's a massive mistake, in my opinion, from Rest in Peace there, because he wasted one shell. He should have let the IS-3 deal with this tank, because now he has one shell less in his barrel, and that's one shell less he can deal with him being the big tank, because as soon as he empties his clip, he's out the game. He's only there as HP there, so he wants all his damage towards the Virtus.pro team. What favours Virtus.pro, by the way, is that they have 3 autoloaders. We'll talk about that.
Look at this. This is going to be real trouble right now. Rest in Peace received so much damage there. Just Cause and Breakneck are pushing straight down that 6 line. Delight holding the cross. Rest in Peace can go nowhere. This is the most appropriate name of a player I've ever seen. He's trying to get out of this one. He has to fight Delight straight up, but it's not working. Phoenix finds one, but there's the shot that really will seal the deal here. Just Phoenix and International stand in a 2v3, but the HP is so much in favor to Virtus.pro right now. The clinical Russians just drilling this one home. Delight, Diver, and Breakneck looking to find their way through here, and they're still playing cautiously. They're not even allowing, you know, that kind of angst to get to them, that will to push forward. They're playing smart. They have the advantage. They're going to play it out correctly.
Yeah, they could basically just roll forward and finish the last 2 tanks, but what's the point of doing that? The Delight is in a low HP. You don't want to take the risk, because only 2 or 3 shells bouncing can cost you the game here. So rather, well, we got their T-points advantage. Let's just sit back and let DeNova make the move here. And it's what it looks like they're doing.
Yeah, Phoenix looks as though he does want to kind of find a way through, maybe catch them on the rotate, get a couple of cheeky shells out there, but they're not spotting out anything. International using every piece of cover possible and looking for any of the opposition. They have no idea where they are. Phoenix looks like he's trying to go on the rotate now. He had a bit of an early start actually onto Virtus.pro, so he might be in luck, or he could be in for an absolute pounding if he comes around the wrong corner, because somewhere in this city, in the dense populated area, there is Virtus.pro laying in wait, and they are just steps away. As you can see right there, looking on the map, you can see it for yourself. This could mean real trouble now for International, because he is going forward and he could come face first into the opposition just moments away, and he's done that. Oh god, this could be so much trouble. He thought Phoenix would have spotted them out, but it's been awful news for him. Now just Phoenix stands. The information wasn't there. Phoenix missed them by a whisker, and now left in a 1v3 up against Delight, Diver, and Breakneck. It's the worst place to be in the world right now with only 200 HP left. He doesn't get the first shell that he needed. There's not going to be a second chance, because Virtus.pro, they were there and they nailed it. And I do feel for Phoenix then, because he missed them by a second.
It was like, if he would have been there 1 second early, not even a second, half a second, he would have spotted the tanks coming that direction. International would have been ready, could have positioned himself better, and maybe even get 2 shells out there. But that was a bit unlucky.
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
But what favoured Virtus.pro quite a lot was not just the HP, but the tanks they lost. Like, they lost the IS-3, while the other side, DeNova, lost the AMX 5100. So despite the HP difference, because they have 3 autoloaders, you just roll in there and you can just deal the damage in a short time, and the HP doesn't matter anymore. If it would have been 2 IS-3s and 2 5100s, the whole thing could have looked different, because the IS-3 only has to deal damage to the wrong tank, and he's out for like 7-8 seconds, and then your tanks, your 5100s, if DeNova would have 3, could have took him down, and there's 1 full HP tank less. So a bit lucky there. I'm not sure if it's luck or if it's skill, or wanted that they'd rather lose this tank than their 5100, but I
think the fact that they didn't manage to spot them was a little bit unlucky, but the way the map unfolded, Virtus.pro, even though they had the advantage, as we noted, HP-wise, which they would have known about, they're a team that fully understand how much damage they deal. They played it cautiously still. They did not, lose that discipline. Yeah. They didn't, lack any sort of kind of execution there. They played it out perfectly. And that's why they win these games, because even in situations that don't favor them, they can play it smart, they can play it carefully, and they can work it back in their favor. We are, however, ready for the third map here. The tank picks are beginning, and it will be steps, actually, so a completely different map to the last 2 we've seen. And that's why I like Abby in the mix, because it's such a unique one. But right now, what do you think we're going to see on this one? Because there's a lot of room for variation.
It's hard to say, to be honest. DeNova has to come up with some idea now. They have to stay on there, because they want. one thing what we forgot to mention again was that this game is not just a game between who's second and third and who's a better team, but also decides during the offline finals who gets a bypass into the second phase of the tournament. So DeNova wants to win this because then they don't have to mess around in the first match tournament day. They can just sit back, watch the enemy, and then prepare for the second game. So this game is so important for both teams. But yeah, looking through the lineups, it looks like none of the teams want to go for anything fancy, anything special. Rather stick to the same old and just play this thing safe.
Yeah, but I am liking seeing DeNova at least getting that 4-1-6 in there. I really like that tank, especially on steps. He's such a good little sniper coming in, and it can move so damn quickly as well. Really big fan of that. Pershing as well, good choice. Nice and chunky there just to take the damage. And if they can position themselves well and really get themselves into that correct placing, I'll be looking forward to seeing how that one goes and seeing what they can really do with it there. So all eyes towards them, in my opinion. But still, who do you think's got the slight upper hand here?
DeNova.
You're still going for DeNova?
It has to be DeNova, otherwise my prediction is wrong. Nah, but looking at strong performance from Virtus Pro there, there's one thing what happened in the beginning of the map, the sniping shots towards international, they saw like a few pixels only from his tank, like not even a full module, they just saw a few pixels and managed to connect 2 shells onto him and dealing like 800 damage. Those shots are just outstanding and not easy to copy. So seeing things like this, and then the way Virtus Pro carried on, like not getting too carried away. If that would have been Spale, they would have screw
Straight
this.
in,
we kill one tank, they're low HP, let's roll forward and destroy him. And Virtus Pro's not like that. So they're rather, no matter what happens, step by step, stay safe, understand the game, and play it safe. And seeing this is just the form of what you need to win.
Well, we'll find out on the next map coming up in just a moment if your prediction will be right. And we'll see who's going to take the real reins here. Because that first map being negated is only currently 1-0 in favor to Virtus Pro. DeNova have a chance to even this one up all over again here on steps, which would be a fantastic thing for them. They definitely need it. They cannot allow Virtus Pro to build that confidence, to build themselves up, get that momentum behind them. Because as soon as Virtus Pro do that, they are untouchable. It's impossible to break them down once they get that. And then Virtus Pro will only be a 1 map away from winning this one. That's what you can't allow. DeNova need to stop this in its tracks. Bad news needs to turn up. FC Dynamo needs to be able to do what he did before. There was some stunning crossfire plays on this very map that we saw DeNova showing their strength on. I want to see that again. I want to see that 4-1-6 crossfire coming in perfectly. And they can do it so well. They've been able to manipulate the opposition before. If they can do it to Virtus Pro, it would be a miracle because, well, Virtus Pro fell into the trap of Dignitas before, who had a very unique style to this one. If you want to check that out, do head over to the VODs, because if they do it again, they're in trouble. But guys, let's line up that video to welcome you towards steps.
Steps is the other open map in the map pool, being 1,000 by 1,000, having no urban areas. There are 3 primary routes of attack: the trench, the rocky area to the left, and the middle road. The road offers direct routes to the enemy's base, but despite having a staggering amount of cover along the way, you are vulnerable to attack from all sides. The trench area provides for great engagements as it's only a few hills and rocks to cover the teams. Most of the engagements occur around this rock, the winner of which gains a crucial foothold on the map. The rocky left area provides the most cover for attacking and defending teams. It's essential that you pick tanks that can traverse from one side of the map to the other rapidly. They also must be able to get to the various key locations as quickly as possible. That is the key to victory.
So, welcome into the third map here. In the south, in the golden yellow, it's going to be DeNova needing to turn this one around. Everything pins on this. They cannot allow Virtus Pro a second more to gain any more confidence. Using the northeast side, fairly usual start here from them. They're going to be challenging down the opposition almost straight away. They'll be at least spotting each other out now. So, DeNova have to be fairly careful. Delight, however, is not. Just Cause is also showing himself quite early on, and that's the danger of it. Rest in Peace will punish immediately. One shell already coming out in favor to DeNova here, but let's head across quickly over to the Virtus Pro side, see what sort of formation they're going for. A massive all-in, all down to the northeast side. Fairly unique, fairly dangerous as well, because normally from the south we see teams going for this formation and it works. Rest in Peace playing now carefully. International as well. They're playing it smart. They're not going to be over-committing here, and that's what they need to watch. They cannot allow WoT Pro to get their teeth into this map. No early advantages can be given. Let's spin through the positions, see where they're at. FC Dynamo and Bad News playing back towards the central kind of northeast side area where they can relock this down in those T69 and Pershing combo. They have spread out Breakneck as well again, so a little bit of information heading back and forth between these guys, and a fair few members of DeNova have been spotted out now. But I do believe WoT Pro are going for a bit of a unique tactic. They've adapted already from that northeast start where they stack their tanks down towards that 8C section.
Yeah, it looks like they're ready for a push, definitely. It's like they got a nice high ground position here, then covered from the small hill here, so it's a perfect ball where you want to be in to defend any push coming from the right-hand side.
Yeah, Karitz is edging forward now. He's facing down Ron there in that central area, just going to be literally steps away from each other. What an appropriate phrase, eh? But still, it's a little bit tentative right now. As we saw on Abby, no team wants to give away the advantage or show their weak link, so it's all about keeping themselves very safe right now and playing as carefully as possible. FC Dynamo there, as you can see in the T69, fairly out in the open, but depending on the gun depression being in the advantageous side of the T69 in comparison to the 1390s, for example, or the Pershing. Look at Phoenix, though. He's going to be getting those blind shots down there, trying to get any sort of connections in that 416. And we've seen this tank being phenomenal in this position, really landing them at such a long range and so well aimed. International and Rest in Peace are, however, going on a bit of a rotate. So we might see a little bit of an advantage coming into DeNova's hands if they can play this one correctly.
Well, I think what was really nice from WoT Pro, that just caused on the left-hand side of the map, so it was completely out of position from the remaining team, there to take down a T1, so that's eyes missing. Well, this is the moment where DeNova sees, all right, they're only 4 tanks here, we have 5. This is our moment where we have to push.
Yeah, and they're doing just that. FC Dynamo focusing down towards Karit. Breakneck just peering over the hill there. He's going to get one shell coming in towards Bad News, but immediately here comes the turn. The Pershing, the T69, both eyeing up. The 3090s sweeping in. They're looking for their way through. Will they come over this defilade and face them down right now? They are steps away from each other. Karit's keeping eyes on, but here we go. It's Phoenix to take down Karit there. That's that T1 gone. Breakneck's the next target of focus, but Entex is there. Delight is there to back him up, but it's not enough. Oh my God, it is going in favor to DeNova right now. Diver is being targeted so much. Entex takes the blow as well, and we are seeing the complete and utter firing squad of DeNova hammering down WoT Pro one by one. 3v5 right now, and they're still staying alive, however. This will allow time for the rotate to come in. Bad News in trouble. He's being held in place, but nice shot comes in. There's the final blow coming in from Rest in Peace. They're taking down Delight. Diver is the next target. He's trying to back away, use that defilade, use the speed of the 3090, but it's not enough. His teammates are now falling beside him. Entex managed to take down International, and oh my word, Diver's found Win the Poo. It's being turned around until that just happened. Rest in Peace comes back in big, leaving Just Cause alive with Kusok.
And Just Cause is here to clean up the mess what his team left behind. He's trying to get there in time to kill one tank, but he's surprised that so many tanks have so many shells left. Getting tracked, taking a lot of damage, down to 281 HP. And then DeNova says, well, we're out of shells, screw this, let's just ram him to death. And taking down last man standing, the T1 from Kusok, then gets finished. Sealing a deal for DeNova.
My God, DeNova just went absolutely huge. You know what? Do you know how to catch out a Russian team? You do that. You completely shake up the strategies, the tactics, and you fold on any sort of weakness you see, because that weakness will not last long. When they noticed there was 3 tanks there, and they had the number advantage, bam, straight there.
That's
not
it. As soon as they
around.
noticed one tank is not in the with the remaining group because he got sniped, we were sniped from the other side. Then we got at least a time window of 30 seconds here to roll over, get us the advantage what we need before he arrives to the fight. And the time window is even longer than 30 seconds. They even had small mistakes in the execution there. They ran
really
each other.
did.
They like international.
The Pershing, the T69.
Yeah, they ran each. That was like the moment where I thought, hang on,
Uh-oh.
this could cost them this push here. But they managed to catch themselves. Then they was missing the shells. Won't finish off the tanks.
They really were taking their time.
But somehow they still managed to focus, regroup, and then and that all like in a few seconds managed to understand, all right, we have to finish off these tanks, done it nice and safe, and then Just Cause came in. If he would have been there a bit earlier, the whole thing
10
could have...
seconds sooner. He could have changed it.
Could have gone a whole the opposite direction there.
Well, there we go. That is steps out of the way. That went firmly to the hands of DeNova. What a fantastic way to see the scoreline all even. His prediction is still possibly on the cards. The
It is.
second prediction, sorry, should I say, not the first one.
I've got a third prediction.
Oh, okay, if it all
prepared as
goes
well.
wrong, you can go back down to that. Okay, it's nice to see you have a backup plan.
Still got a 2-2 in the as well.
But now, Prokhorovka is coming up next, which is fairly similar to Steps in essence,
Yeah.
but still, it can be played very differently, so you can't take too much into that. It's just an open map. Now, I don't think DeNova can pull that off again unless they want to go crazy and go headfirst into WoT Pro, which is a little bit dangerous. I think that's a bit of a risky move that they won't take, but still, I think they're just about ready to get those tank picks going as well. So we can put that on there, so once they get started, we can just continue. Because only a tier 1 and a 1390 has been picked so far. Who do you think this one favors? Because that last map was certainly DeNova's.
It was indeed, and well, we said it during the first game. These maps are similar, but they was played completely different. Like we had on Steps, on Prokhorovka, just a straightforward rush and done in a few seconds or a few minutes, say that way, and. Then on Steps, they was completely defensive, and it was the complete opposite thing. It was more of mind games, positioning, and then finishing off the game in the end part of that matchup. And I'm expecting something similar here, even though the maps are now in the other order. But this game was, well, no, saying that it did start off like quite a lot of position. Sorry, I'll start that from the beginning.
Words are hard as well, right?
Oh man, the positioning game on Steps happened again. Well, this map could be a fast push, but we've been saying it so many times here. This is a game, so much is on the line, and I don't think any team wants to throw this away with some cheesy tactics.
See, they don't, but they've gone for an extremely similar lineup. And now WoT Pro are actually almost responding to that. They haven't gone for the Pershing, but they have gone for the 416. So both teams going for the 416, both using two 1390s. But we're seeing the slight changes coming with the Pershing there, and possibly a T69, I can imagine, might come into play, but they might go for another 1390 actually. So they're going to go for the triple, whereas DeNova are going for 2. So in theory, WoT Pro's lineup is pretty damn quick. It can do a lot of damage, but with that 416 in play, I want to see how they can really compare against each other.
Yeah, I always like this at least one tank in there with a single shot, because as soon as in some situations you want to try some blind shots, you don't want to do that with your autoloaders, because as soon as the team realizes you're blind shooting with your autoloaders, that's the signal, right, march, guys. But yeah, I like having this one tank mix in there, but the T-32 in there, the last pick, that's a big surprise.
It is.
During I think it was the beginning of the first season where artillery wasn't that much favored, the T-32 was a really common pick on this map because you got the 2 bowl positions in the middle of the map. So you got the big hill, and underneath there you got 2 kind of bowls. And that's where you can put your T-32s in, because they just peek up with their turrets and they don't take no damage. So it's an interesting pick, and I'm wondering if this can work out again like it used to.
Well, the thing that gets to me right now is the fact that WoT Pro ran this against Dignitas before, and me and Ollie both went, T-32, we're not too sure on that one. It was kind of one of those, is this really what you want on this map? But it can be such, it's almost like the elephant in the room that everyone can get tunnel vision towards. So I can imagine they're hoping that they're going to get DeNova to completely focus down on that T-32 and completely put all their resources there, allowing that 416 to snipe from range, the 1390s to use that speed, use that versatility, that damage that they can really cause just to rip apart the opposition. But I don't think DeNova will fall for that. If I can read into it at that level, I don't think DeNova will either. I think they can play this one smartly. I think I truly love the way they play that 416. We're seeing Phoenix really come into his own when he gets that in his hands. I've enjoyed that thoroughly. And I'm looking to see what FC Dynamo can do as well, because when he gets into those high pressure situations, he can really come up big in that T69, and it's impressive to watch. He's a very versatile player, so I don't think I need to tell you guys anything about the WoT Pro side, because they are insanely good at this, but I want to see if DeNova can read the play that WoT Pro clearly are trying to edge them towards, or at least kind of focus them towards, because right now we are ready to get ourselves lined up towards the 4th map here, which will be Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, a large map at 1,000 by 1,000 meters which allows teams to stretch their legs and artillery to test their skills. There are 3 primary routes of attack: over the left tree road, the middle area, and towards the town. The tree road is very open and flat, but has a very large number of bushes and trees that provide good cover if you're not shooting. The middle area is where the initial engagements happen as teams gather as much information as they possibly can. Both teams are fairly symmetrical and only offer small hills and brushes as cover. The middle area is where the initial engagements happen as teams gather as much information as they possibly can. The railroad that splits the map has a large number of bushes running alongside it that provides good cover and the occasional route of attack in the village and hill area. Teams should look towards taking fast tanks and artillery as they complement each other on this expansive map.
So, welcome into the 4th map here, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken. There was one draw in there. It's kind of confusing me, but it will be Prokhorovka, one of the most famous maps here. And we are seeing in the south, in that golden yellow, the DeNova boys now facing down Virtus Pro, all tied up, all even. What are we seeing from Virtus Pro so far?
Virtus Pro is heading towards the middle here, focusing more to the left-hand side of the map, down the village side. Makes sense because they have the T-32 in there, and they want to keep him in the bowl. They want to keep their army or their tanks near the T-32, and this is a really strong position for him to be because he can cover the whole right-hand side of the map. So you can go from the left-hand side middle towards the village, also cover above the little hill. And well, saying that, he's just going straight forward. He's going over the center part onto the DeNova side of the map.
Yeah, and we are seeing Delight pushing forward there, as you mentioned. But it's going to be rest in peace to wait, and here comes that crossfire coming in. He's going to be held in place. Going to have to be careful now. Lovely little dodge there coming from rest in peace, just avoiding the shell. Not going to avoid that one, however. Delight will continue on 100 HP. He needs to be taken down right now. There we go. That's the final killing blow that rest in peace needed to land, and just beautiful shots coming out, but he must adjust. Breakneck will not be too far away, but you are seeing the initial advantage being in the hands of DeNova, but Diver looking like he wants to even that one out. Rest in peace could be in further trouble. FC Dynamo and Co are completely focused towards the middle. Phoenix needs to help him out. Rest in peace will be getting down towards that defilade, playing it smart, playing it carefully if he can, and hope that Phoenix in that 4-1-6 can actually land these shells, because Diver is not missing. He's down to 77 HP. This could be the nail in the coffin, and it will be. That's rest in peace down. Phoenix could not land the shells in time, and Virtus Pro have their hands firmly wrapped around that 1 and 2 line.
As again played really smart from Diver here. We can see along the road, because there's a little the road is a little bit higher than the remaining part of the terrain where he was driving along, so there's no way the DeNova's team could back up Rest in Peace on that right-hand side. Rest in Peace did try to get as high as possible, tried to force the other tanks to come up there as well, but they were just smart enough to manage to play out and use the terrain to their favor, and not even take a single shell damage while taking down, who was it? Rest in Peace.
Yep. Really, really smart stuff coming out there. DeNova have had to now go towards that central kind of village area. Bad News is breaking away into the Virtus Pro half almost, but he does have that, you know, Pershing beside him at least. So it's got the kind of beef behind it to be able to at least get a decent position here. But look at the split coming out. We've got International doing what he does best, being that pester in that 1390. I love it when he can get to this position. If they can get the spots, he will certainly not miss those shells. It's going to be FC Dynamo pushing up towards Bad News. They're literally exchanging halves here. And Phoenix in that 4-1-6 just catching up into the village now. Certainly not a slow tank. He can get the position it wants to, but it's not exactly the chunkiest one in the world either. It's almost the lowest HP excluding International right now, so has to be a little bit careful. But as you can see, DeNova are completely blind as to where Virtus Pro are until Breakneck just showed himself.
Yeah, they found out that that 2 tanks are pushing down the left-hand side, but they don't know where he went after that. After they killed Rest in Peace, they can be anywhere. They can be towards the cap circle, they can be up towards their cap circle, they can be in the middle, they can be anywhere. So, as I said, they have no idea what Virtus Pro is here planning to do, but they're ready for anything. Yeah, the way they position their tanks, because they don't know what's going on, they say, all right, we have to cover any angle, and that's what they're doing pretty nicely. They've got tanks in the middle, they've got one tank down up north, as you already mentioned. He's ready to snipe from the side, from behind, depending on where the Virtus Pro team pops up, so they're prepared. Yeah,
they are, but how are Virtus Pro getting around this one? Because obviously they have map control, they have the advantage in that aspect, but how are they going to close this one out, do you think?
It's hard for them to find the opening here, because what they don't know is that many tanks from DeNova are on their side of the railway. If they would know that, they could start closing onto them, but they're thinking them behind it, so it's hard to go over there, because as soon as you drive over it, you're going to take damage before you can deal damage yourselves. So you want to try to push them towards one direction, then deal the damage, or try to force them to come out by capping. Yeah, but at this point, they just have no idea where DeNova is and on which side.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of cat and mouse right now between these two. Phoenix is picking up the position that International was in. That 4-1-6, maybe a little bit more favorable in that sort of instance there. So using that gun and that tank to its absolute maximum. International backing away towards the village area, trying to keep eyes on in case they get flanked, because bearing in mind, their flag is completely and utterly open for the taking. So he has to be a little bit careful, keeping eyes across. He has spotted out Karitz, who will be moving, and you can see the turret swinging around towards him. Easy shot for Bad News there in that Pershing. Not going to be too much of a sweat broken, but still, it's allowing information to trickle through to Virtus Pro, and even the tiny spots coming through can really make the difference, because right now the bigger boys can turn up. It's Diver, it's Just Cause, it's Breakneck, all showing their presence now, and this is DeNova in trouble. They have to be so careful. Phoenix is down fairly low already. Shells have come towards him thick and fast. He's off that ideal HP, and we are seeing tanks now just kind of slowly but surely edging in towards the opposition. And DeNova, they're not sitting too healthy.
That's right. That spot from the T1 was really crucial. WoT Pro found out what was going on here. A lot of damage dealt towards Bad News here. He's down to 850 HP, and if he carries on driving up the hill, he's going to take a lot more damage from Breakneck. And there we go. Another shot connected. 515 HP left. DeNova also taking some damage, and now WoT Pro knows what to do.
Yeah, Bad News is left in a terrible position. The rest of his teammates are behind the railway line. He is stuck out there with little to no cover, and that's what happens when you have no cover around WoT Pro. They will punish you for it. He got caught out for a second, and that was enough for them to make the most of it. So right now, 3 tanks remain. Let's take you through them. Right now, we have Phoenix in the 416, patrolling back up towards the northern part of this map. You've got International playing down in the south, and we have right slap bang in the middle, the T69 of FC Dynamo. They have to take down Breakneck, Kusok, Diver, Just Cause, and Entex in a tier 1. So it's not going to be an easy battle to find out. They're not going to have an easy route through. They do have a fair chunk of HP left. Phoenix got taken down to 900, but excluding that, they're not too bad off. But still, they're going to have to put out something close to a miracle if they want to get this one in the bag.
Yeah, WoT Pro knows the strength of their position in this game now. They know that all they have to do is just sit back and wait and let DeNova come. So what they're just doing is basically just covering the railways, the entrance points to their side of the map here, because what they also know is DeNova on the other side, and the complete opposite side of the map. So yeah, just cover the crossings, and you're good to go.
Yeah, smart, cautious play from WoT Pro, not giving away anything towards the opposition, no matter how big the advantage. That's why they're so good at this. Just careful play through and through. Phoenix and Dynamo are retracting back now. Phoenix going back in that 416 through the village, down that 6 line, and looking to join his teammates. International on the defense, getting out those blind shots there in his 1390. No connections to be made, because as we've seen before, the even spread from WoT Pro, they're not going to be rushing anything. They're playing carefully, they're playing cautiously, and they're going to stick to that.
Yeah, you see Breakneck here, keep on going up a few centimeters more. Just trying to see if you can spot something, maybe connect 1 or 2 sniping shells. What DeNova did realize, though, is that the bottom, the south part, the south crossing is probably the most open part, because the tanks are more concentrated to the north. So this is a place where they want to cross. But Breakneck also understands, well, if they're not coming from the top, they're going to be coming from the bottom at some point. And he's ready to snipe down there. We see Entex already heading down there as well. Didn't manage to spot International, and now it's Breakneck to prove how good his sniping skills are. And nice shot, right? That distance, I would say around 500 meters. Managed to connect the shell right into International, dealing a fair chunk of damage. And now the follow shell's coming.
Yeah, this means trouble. International is down to 1-1-3. One more shot and he's out of there. There it is. That is now a 2v4 situation. FC Dynamo and Phoenix now trying to do something, but it feels as though they're just, they've got a mountain to climb right now, and I think they're just trying to go on head first into it. And with those shells landing from the boys of WoT Pro, it's very hard to knock these guys off that rather high pedestal they'll be sat on. So Phoenix leading the charge in that 416. He's got the speed to do it. Breakneck now appearing on the horizon could really spell trouble for these two. Phoenix trying to get a shell off, not going to connect, however, and the push will continue. They've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left to do something magical here. Otherwise, it's going to be WoT Pro sitting at a 2-to-1 advantage, and well, that's not going to help. FC Dynamo does receive another shell. That's going to put him down to 598 HP, because they did not manage to spot Just Cause, who's just behind them. Beautiful, incisive play coming out from Just Cause there, taking FC Dynamo down to 94 HP. That is absolutely stunning World of Tanks if I've ever seen it. Just Cause reading the game. They are both so damn low. Phoenix 40 HP, FC Dynamo 94. Here's the final killing blows. Just Cause, stunning play again. WoT Pro, you certainly deserve that map, because that was just absolutely beautiful to watch. Absolutely love that. Congratulations to those guys on that one.
That was really nice play there. They're just covering every angle, and again, the game reading that is just impressive. And as I just mentioned at the end, the sniping skills, that's one of the things, like the amount of time the shell traveled to hit the target, and you have to work out where to shoot.
You've got to take that into account.
It's sick. Like, the gameplay from WoT Pro on this map was really, really impressive, and yeah, they just managed to close in DeNova and just pull the string tight until they managed to win it.
It was unbelievable to watch, and that little bit of play from Just Cause there. He came around the side, he flanked around, he allowed them to get close enough, and they just trapped them in. It was just incredible to watch. That crossfire being set up. This is the gameplay that I'm talking about, that some teams can't quite manage when they get to that point where it needs that kind of instinctive play to kick in. Some teams lack it. Virtus Pro certainly don't. They read that situation so damn well. The next map's going to be Himmelsdorf. What an incredible decider. This could
One more thing I want to mention.
Good.
By the way, for the last map, the T32 said, weird choice, maybe. 2.5k damage.
Good choice.
So I think
we allow that.
Yeah, I think he proved himself that he's a good tank.
Yeah, I think that's certainly a very good choice. We're not going to doubt that one again. So, guys, let's get ready for those tank picks towards the last map, which is going to be Himmelsdorf. So, what a defining one here, because if Virtus Pro pick this up, they have the victory. If DeNova get it, it's a draw, and we'll have to reconsider the points here, because currently it's sitting 2-1. Now, obviously, we are going to the final map, because the first map was a draw, so that's negated. So, it all comes down to this. What choices are they making?
And they're just playing this one safe. They've got the 5100s, the IS3s in there. And the two T1s, I would say basically these are all the tanks are going to be picked. So Virtus Pro 2 T1s, DeNova 2 T1s. No, actually DeNova, they have picked their second T1 here. Virtus Pro then for 2 5100s and 2 IS3s, and DeNova exactly the same on their oversight with 2 5100s and 2 IS3s.
Okay,
Final
so
picks can make the difference again.
Let's look back towards Ensk. Who had the advantage there?
Virtus Pro. Definitely.
So in theory, it should translate here.
It should.
And your prediction would be so wrong.
No, my prediction's actually right, because I said 2-2, you remember?
Oh, you think DeNova is somehow going to do this, right?
Well, I got to. I have 3 chances now. My third prediction. If that's not right, I'm going to give up on predicting.
I think we need to take him away from that.
But the final picks came out here. Virtus Pro going for IS3 and DeNova going for the 5100. So if they go for the difference, but they got the additional 5100 here, what they was lacking on Ensk. So this is going to be the game-changing moment.
Well, it's certainly the deciding moment, because this will be our 5th and final map. The first one was a draw. It was Abbey. After that, Virtus Pro picked it up in some incredible fashion. Then we saw DeNova coming back, and then Virtus Pro in the last map looking insanely good. We know they are great at this map. I've only ever seen, the likes of maybe Spale challenging or Dignitas. That's about it on this one. Spale because they're so hard to read, and Dignitas because they're so damn good. DeNova, if you want to prove yourself right now, this is your chance. You need this draw. You cannot allow Mousesports any closer, because they are hot on their heels. So, guys, let's get that video rolling towards the final map, which is Himmelsdorf.
Himmelsdorf is the city maps of city maps. It's a small one, being 600 by 600 meters. There are 3 routes of attack: the hill, the banana, and the train side. The middle area is relatively easy to push, however can end up in disaster, as you can be flanked from every side. The road, often called Banana, allows for direct head-on assaults but requires a lot of resources. Both the railroad area and the road next to it are good routes of attack, being very open and straight. However, for those very same reasons, you can be easily caught out and taken down. The map features many densely housed areas, which provides good places for engagements and routes of attack. Teams must be aware of the various routes their opponents can take through the map, as well as the hull-down positions enemies can take throughout the entire map. The trick with Himmelsdorf is to catch an enemy tank unsupported by his teammates and then use that advantage to collapse on the entire enemy team.
So, welcome into the 5th and final map. In the north, in the gold and yellow, it's DeNova facing off against Virtus Pro, who look they're going for an insane tactic right now to see if they're going to pick this one up, take us into this one. My God, what are they doing?
Well, I'm not even going to waste time going over the overview map here, because they're not wasting time at all either. They go right forward here. Breakneck, Just Cause, Andy Light going straight forward to International Court. I've got a Kushok dealing a lot of damage here. International down to 315 HP. And that's the opening of a map, what you want to achieve.
Yeah, that is the perfect way to crack this one in half. We know Virtus Pro like this tactic. We know they go aggressive, but can DeNova account for that? They are going for a defensive posture right now. Only International really push far forward, with the likes of Phoenix not too far away either. But he's spotted out Just Cause. They've completely given up the banana road until you come far enough back down. Oh! Oh my word, Breakneck peers around, smashes down International. That is the opening they were wanting. That's how they get this one rolling. And we are seeing only one shell really put back, maybe two. Breakneck and Delight being taken a little bit lower, but that is nothing compared to the opening they just got right there. Delight and Breakneck will be now pushing onto Phoenix, who's laying away just around the corner here. The tier 1 battle is going through, and that was, I believe, won by Virtus Pro, but Delight and Phoenix dancing out, but look at the crossfire. Breakneck in the back, Delight up front. Where do you want to be right now? Who do you want to be challenging? He's got to decide, and right now it's Delight he's taking on head-to-head, and this is going atrociously. DeNova are in trouble. Oh, lovely shot comes back in from Phoenix. That's kept hope alive, but the following shot will not. That is, my God, a beautiful start for Virtus Pro. They have this game in the bag if they can keep this one up.
That's right. In the meantime, Just Cause came over the middle, taking down Rest in Peace to 272 HP, and now dealing the final shot. Another tank going down on DeNova's side, leaving it two heavy tanks left, and it's not looking good for DeNova at all.
It's certainly not, and right now we're seeing FC Dynamo in trouble. Breakneck is making his appearance right there, just challenging him head on. Bad News has taken down Diver, however, so keeping a touch of hope alive, but they have got to go so big right now if they even want a chance to take this one. The cap is underway. It's all falling apart for DeNova. They had to win this one. They could only draw it now. Dynamo is going for a bit of a run here, hoping to dodge a shells from Breakneck. Not going to happen. That man does not miss these shots, and Dynamo trying desperately to get towards Bad News, and he has just been, well, it's not going well for him. Let's have a little look over towards Bad News right now. He's going head-to-head with Just Cause, blow for blow, just brawling this one out. You can see Just Cause has the better HP. The turrets are clashing. This is unbelievable. The gun is damaged. That is bad news for DeNova right now. The cap continues, and there's so little these guys can do right now with only a 5100 left, with only an IS-3 really in play, and now two tanks taking on Bad News. He's gone down. Winnie the Pooh, the last man standing. Virtus Pro have managed to hold on to that second position. DeNova, on the other hand, now need to look towards Mouse Sports to retain their top 3 ending, because, my God, Virtus Pro have just stamped their authority on this one, and DeNova did not stand a chance. Wow, that was a game I want to be watching back.
Yeah.
That was certainly something to be remembered. My God, Virtus Pro.
Oh, it looked like they had to go for dinner or something. They had no time to lose. They went straight forwards, straight away taking out International. He didn't even know what was happening. He just rolled out the base, minding his own business, polishing his tanks and getting his gun loaded. I don't know what. And Virtus Pro's already all over him.
I just want to point out Just Cause and Breakneck, the two IS-3s, as well as Kusok, they're both breaking 2k damage.
Yeah.
Normally, I am a big firm believer of the 5100s in play, but they've proven that aggressive push that they love so much can really just hammer down the opposition, and they've done it there, and I'm sure they'll do it again. They have at least secured and retained their position in second place now, and they needed that one. They really did.
Yeah, and you just said 2 tanks cracking the 2k damage. Usually it's a surprise seeing 1 tank doing that. He didn't have 2 tanks. Breakneck and Just Cause right at the beginning. Breakneck, he was the one who actually charged forward. He was the first tank in there, first tank doing damage. Just impressive, outstanding gameplay there from Virtus Pro, and they deserve to win. And as I said, 3-1.
So let's take this account. Mouse Sports were on 29 points. They picked up 3. So simple math, they're pretty much up there in the top 3 now. But have they got enough to take down DeNova, who only got 1? So DeNova's going to be on 33 points, right? So DeNova 33. And I'm not sure if they're updated.
Lost.
Oh, they lost. Oh, my God. So they're on 32. They didn't even draw it out.
Yeah,
so Mouse Sports. Oh, God.
Mouse Sports. And then
Mouse won.
The thing is, in the Pro League, if 2 teams have the same amount of points, or if many teams have the same amount of points, they get put in a mini league.
Yeah.
And then only the matches they played against each other come into account. So at this point, we have Mouse Sports and DeNova in the mini league because only these are the same points. And looking at their results, we have a 2-2 in the first game. And the second game was a win from Mouse Sports, 2-1 against DeNova. So that means Mouse Sports at this point is on 3rd place.
This is an incredible story. For any Mouse Sports fans out there, you guys, you picked the right team to support. Those guys just got themselves straight back up there. And this is what we mean. Every single score really does matter. No matter if it's at the start of the season or the very end, you've got to be getting these wins, straight away, because it really does add up to moments like this.
The thing is, what is really important is to win the games against the big teams. So you got some teams, they win against the small teams and lose against the big teams. But then but still manage to stay up there. But when it comes down to the mini league situation, and the team you win the mini league is usually a big team as well. And if you won your game against them, well, you're in front then, and that's what decides. And we saw in the first season, like a single tier 1 capping tank managed to get the points, put them in the mini league, and then through the mini league, the one team carried on because they want to get their games against the big teams instead of against the small teams. And so there's so many small things that come into account where who qualifies, who gets which seeding slot, and yeah.
Incredible play day. And I can't imagine, that many of you guessed that scoreline.
I guess I'm both wrong.
He didn't get any of them right, so we never, bring it. He's been fired now. We're bringing Ollie back. Don't you worry, guys. Ollie will be rejoining us for the next show, however. But still, how many of you guys at home predicted that one right? Melly, let me know, because that game was astounding. I know she's kind of blown away by this one. So, Melly, how are you feeling over there? Are you still with us?
I'm okay. I had some desperate giggles between the games because I was like, what the hell is going on? I mean, after drawn Abby, I thought this is going to be a tough one because, well, you have to manage not dying to one of those teams, right? And I was right. I mean, we saw two teams playing a really good game, even if it was pretty clear for WoT Pro. DeNova managed to keep up with them, and that's where you recognize really highly professional gamers. Like, they lose, but it's okay because that game is over. They continue playing on the next map. Everything is new. Everything can end up the way it could end. So, and, well, our community guessed a pretty close ending, to be honest. We have really few people guessing a 3-1, but a lot of people predicted a 3-2 ending. So I saw even a couple draws. So it could have ended everywhere. It was just amazing. But the favorite team was definitely WoT Pro with 75%. I saw a tweet from wait, where is it? From Carmen. He tweeted, "If DeNova wins tomorrow, will be a very interesting match for us."
It would be. It would be a very interesting match.
But it will be interesting anyways, I guess.
It will be.
Yeah. If you have missed this match, just watch back the VODs. Seriously.
It's the best way to describe it. It was a great play day. I can't believe this happened. It was just, it went, the way it should, but it was so close getting there. I think it was certainly a treat, and certainly something I'm going to be watching back on the VODs. And if you guys do want to as well and see the build up to why that moment was so incredible, do head over to the WoT Pro League site and just have a look through the VODs, because it's been a fantastic season so far, and we really are coming towards the end of it as well.
We are, and saying that, still everything's open. Like, it's hard to read who's going to qualify, and maybe the top rankings are getting safer now. Now that also
maybe
WoT
the
Pro,
top three.
Yeah, now that WoT Pro picked up the win against DeNova, you can see a direction there. But besides that, anybody can qualify. Like, DeNova can drop still down to the top 4, maybe even top 5 if the other matches get won by the teams. Spell still can do it, even playing Ducks. Even they can qualify it, and Casner Crew's not completely out there as well.
No,
so
certainly not. Down
to rank 9, everything's still open. If it comes down to maths, even rank 10 can get up there as well. But I don't think anybody will bet their money on that. But everything from 4 to 9 still can qualify for the offline final. So it's definitely worth staying tuned.
My
3
God.
more games remaining as well.
3 more match days. That's all we have. It's been a astounding season so far. And as you can tell, with this many, options open towards the end of it, the last 3 play days are going to be absolutely incredible. Any team can get into this right now. Dignitas and maybe WoT Pro are the only 2 really secured ones. Outside of that, everything can change. Now, if you enjoyed today's games, if you enjoyed watching that one, you might want to consider tuning in for the next, because not only will we be seeing, Evil Panda Squad there, but if you enjoyed Mel Sports, because you certainly had a good play day, they'll be facing off against each other. And then, maybe you saw WoT Pro today, maybe you liked a bit of DeNova, but how about Dignitas facing off against Spale? Now, the important thing about this one is, guys, Dignitas have a bit of a shaky history against Spale. If any team can actually beat them right now, it's going to be Spale, and they certainly need it. Spale have had a bit of a shaky season now towards that later phase, and if they're going to turn this one around, they'll need to do it then. So, guys, if you've enjoyed it, make sure you tune back in on the 14th, which is a Thursday at the exact same time. And, guys, I hope you had fun, because I know we did. So, hopefully, see you then.